Hi guys, Kieran here. I've just received my login credentials for my second funded FTMO account. So I thought today would be a good day to show you the client area of FTMO, what the back end looks like. I'm going to show you the trading accounts I traded for my challenge and my verification, which is the evaluation stages I had to pass to get to my funded account. And I'll show you some of the features of the FTMO backend. They provide some cool features that will run through to help you trade better. So if you're not familiar with FTMO, I have a separate video which is a review of the FTMO funded trader program. But essentially it's a funded trader program whereby you can trade on behalf of FTMO and you will receive a 70% split of their profits. And to achieve the funded account, you have to pass a two-step evaluation. You have to pass a challenge and a verification stage, which is trading two separate trading accounts. You have to hit profit targets and avoid the risk parameters. And once you successfully achieve that, you receive a funded account. Now, I have two funded accounts with FTMO. I'm going to show you the steps that I took to achieve those funded accounts and just show you a little bit what the back end looks like. So let's have a look. So this is the front page of the client area of FTMO. You can see here I have a breakdown of my accounts. So I have my two funded accounts here, both with $100,000 balances. And you can also see my verification and my challenges here. So the way it works with FTMO, the evaluation stage is first step, you have to pass the challenge. And these are my challenges here. And once you pass these, you move on to the verification stage. So one of the great features of the challenges is that you can see my very first challenge I did here. This is 7-8 months ago at this point. I took the challenge, I didn't fail it, but I didn't pass it. So what they do is they have a rule that if you're still in profit, you can retake the challenge for free. So what happened with this challenge, I traded it. I achieved, at the end of the period, I had an 80,000 euro account I had to trade. I had to make 88,000 euros. I didn't manage to do that, but I managed to stay just in profit, just over the 80,000 euro mark. So I was able to repeat this challenge. So then I repeated this challenge. This challenge ended in February 2019. It's now August 2019. So this time I managed to hit the profit target of 8,000 euros. So you can see here my closing balance was 88,000 euros. This resulted in a pass. So once you pass your challenge, you then move to the verification stage. So these are my verification accounts I've traded so far. So this is the one we're looking at here. So then after I passed my first challenge, I then traded this account. The objective of this account was to avoid a drawdown of 8K and to make a profit of 4K. So you can see here I had an 80K account. I traded this account until I got my 4K profit and then I passed. So once I passed this, I achieved my very first funded account, which is this one here. So I've been trading this now for the past 3 to 4 months. And the way this works is I opted to take $100,000 rather than 80,000 euros, same type of thing, but just depending on the currency. And once you get over 100,000 USD, you can then request withdrawals. So they'll withdraw any money you make and you'll go back to 100K, which is what I did here. So I'm currently trading this old account. So my latest funded account, which is this one, let me show you how I achieved this one. So I took a challenge. This challenge here, my objective was to make 10K whilst avoiding a drawdown of 10K. You can see I passed this one first time, so I traded this account from 100K to 110K, and I passed it. And then I went into the verification stage, where my objective was to make a 5K profit, which you can see I did first time here. And then I was given my second funded account of 100,000 USD. So this is the one I've just had the login details for, so I won't have any activity in this, but let me show you what it looks like inside the funded account. So we're going to have a look at the trading tools in a moment. Let me just quickly show you how this breaks down. So this is inside the funded account. So we have some risk parameters here that we need to adhere to. We have to trade a minimum of 10 days before we can make a withdrawal. So I haven't made any trades yet, so obviously I'm not passing this, I'm on 0. The max daily loss for my funded account is $5,000, and the max loss for this funded account is $10,000. And so far I've made no profit because I've made no trades. It gives you a nice breakdown here of your monetary results for the day. So today I haven't traded, so I'm flat. I can lose 10k today. I can lose 5k today. I can lose 10k overall. And then we have our breakdown of our equity, our balanced number of trades. What I might do actually is I'll show you these in one of my challenge accounts so we can see these populated. Let me just show you the rest of this page. And then down here you have your trade journal. This will give you a breakdown of every trade you take. And you can also add some notes and some screenshots down here, I believe, if you want to use this as your main trading journal. So we're going to have a look at the tools in a minute, these ones here, but whilst it's on the front of my mind, let's have a quick look inside a populated page. So let's have a look at my latest verification. So this is the verification that has just ended, the one I just passed to achieve my second funded account. And we can see at least how this looks when it's populated. So this was my trading performance for this account. So you can see my equity curve here. My objective was to make 5k. This is my equity curve. This is the number of trades I took. These were my trading objectives. So I had to trade for a minimum of 10 days. I traded for 13 days. 50% of those days had to have been positive. 61.54% were. My max daily loss was 5k. And this is an unrealized loss. So you don't necessarily have to close your trades within the day. This is just the maximum open exposure. So at one point during this challenge, I was down $1,117 on the day. So as long as we stay above the minus 5k, we're fine. So I passed that one. Max loss overall. So I believe this one is actually closed trades. So I only went into a drawdown of $613. And so I passed this one, and then my profit target was $5,000. You can see here, I closed out my final trade just over $5,000. So this is the daily summary of my performance. It was a bit up and down. I had some good days, some bad days. A big final day, which was great. And then the breakdown of my trades here. So if we look here at the statistics, you can see it monitors your equity every day, your balance, number of trades, number of lots traded, win percentage, average profit, average loss, average R, expectancy, profit factor, and the last updated date. So this is exactly how it looks in your funded account. You have exactly the same trading screen, as it were. Your objectives are slightly different because you don't have to have 50% positive days, for example. The minimum trading days in the funded account, you have to trade 10 days, but it's only before you can make a withdrawal from the account. So let me show you some of the tools now that they provide. So let's look at the trading. Oh, this is the trading journal, sorry. So the Mentor app, this is an app which they provide in MetaTrader 4. So MetaTrader 4 is one of the trading platforms that you can use, which is free, which is great. So you can download an app and it will keep an eye on your profit targets and your daily losses, etc. And it will warn you if you're getting close to any of those thresholds. The statistical app, now this is a really good feature of FTMO. What this does is it tracks statistics on the DAX, the German equity index, the DAX. And what this does is gives you live statistics that you can use to trade. I might do a separate video on this because this is actually a really great feature of FTMO. So what they do is they'll give you live statistics. So for example, it's still 11 a.m. in the morning here, Central European time, and this is the same time as the DAX. So the first 2 hours of the market, depending on where it is, it's going to give us a percentage of the chance of the high of the first 2 hours or the low being broken. So we're probably in a small trading range right now in the DAX, and we have a 98% chance of breaking the high and the low of the first 2 hours of the DAX. So these are very high percentage plays that you can take. And like I said, this is updated all day long, and they have a bunch of different statistics here that we can use to trade. We have the break of the high or low of the day. So we have an 83% chance of breaking today's high and only a 19% of breaking the low. So, I mean, what you could do here is you could just place a stop loss below the low, profit target of the high, and you have an 83% chance of hitting that profit target and only a 19% chance of having your stop loss hit. We have stuff on close location. If there's aggressive candles, it will give you some statistics on that. Some stuff on whether it's a normal day or it's the price is moving above what a normal day would be. Any breakouts here, we have range analysis by hour and whether it's a normal or a usual or an unusual day. So like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on this statistical app for the DAX because it's really powerful and can give you some great high probability trade ideas every day. So let's go back to our trading screen. We have the economic calendar. So the economic calendar shows you which news events are scheduled for the week and for the day. So today is Friday. You can see here all of these news events are scheduled for the day. And the restricted events, the ones that we can't trade 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after, they mark clearly here as a restricted event. You can see the little pop-up here that comes. FTMO funded traders are restricted to trade 5 minutes before to 5 minutes after this release. So on the CAD, we cannot trade any CAD pairs 5 minutes before or 5 minutes after 2:30 this afternoon. FTMO will send us emails about this. They also have Chrome pop-ups that come in your Chrome browser just before, which is great. So this is something you have to bear in mind when you're trading a funded account. If you're trading FS markets, it's always good to check the economic calendar during the day as well. Okay, so let's go back to our trading screen. So the economic calendar is also embedded here, which is great for ease of use. So during the day, we can see what's coming up now and the impact, the likely impact on the market and what currency it's going to probably impact. Time zone converter, this just converts the time of day for your loss limits. So you have your daily loss limits depending on what time our local time is and the FTMO server time is. I'm currently in sync and it tells me my max daily loss will be reset in 12 hours 57 minutes. The equity simulator, this allows you to see how your performance when you trade your account will have been. You can make a projection based on your trading activity of how your equity curve will look after how many trades. So this account that I traded started at a 10K, and this is how my equity curve will look in various scenarios if I was to trade with the same performance. So after 100 trades, I would be up here around the 115K mark. And here you can tweak your capital, you can tweak your win percentage, your R, the number of iterations you want to run in your model, the number of lines you want to show, risk and risk percentage. So this is a good idea if you have a set process or a methodology that you go through every day. You're taking the same setups. This is a good way to forecast your equity growth. We have here the broker review. We'll have a quick look at this. So FTMO is slightly different from other funded trader programs because you can actually choose your broker that you want to trade with. So it seems like this link might not be working. Yeah, seems like it's not working. Let's see if we can access it from down here. Here we go, broker review. So like I was saying, FTMO allow you to choose which broker you want to use. And also they do not constrain you on the type of markets that you have to trade in your challenge verification or in the funded account. So the way it works is you choose a broker and then you can trade any instruments that that broker offers. And what the broker tool allows us to do is to see, for example, which brokers are most competitive on certain markets. So the default here is the euro dollar. Right now, the IC market ECN has a spread of 0 with commissions of 0.7. So our overall costs are going to be 0.8. So this shows us in real time who the most competitive broker is on this pair. So we can look at the equity indexes here. So we have the DAX, so Think Markets and Admiral are quite competitive at the moment on the DAX. We have, I think this is the NASDAQ, Purple Trading and Bossa, Dow Jones, Admiral, Think Markets, and on the golds, Think Markets. So this is a pretty cool tool when you are trying to figure out which broker to choose. You can even use this to track historical spreads. So if, for example, you leave trades open overnight, you will note that you'll probably have noticed by now that the spreads increase exponentially after the US market closes. So you have to be careful if you're trading lower time frames with tight stops, because the spreads, you can potentially be taken out because of the spread increases. So if you're doing that, you probably want to see which broker have the most tight spreads during the night, so you can use this tool potentially for that. Okay, so that's the broker review, and in fact that is the tools that they offer. They give us some useful links here. We can get some definitions of what open losses are, some information around the scaling plan. The scaling plan is for the funded account. The way it works is if you make 10% in your funded account, they'll give you an increase in that funded account of 25%, which is great. Okay, and then they just give you some definitions of what real market conditions are and what the trading objectives are. These both refer to your parameters, your risk parameters that you have to adhere to with FTMO. So that's an overview of the tools and the back end of FTMO, your challenges, your verification accounts, and of course the funded account. Like I said, the funded account works so that once you achieve any profit, so you go over 100K, in my case, because this is the size of the account I'm trading, for the first time, they will contact you, they will congratulate you, they will ask you to raise an invoice to the company to extract or withdraw your profits, and then they will also give you back your evaluation fee, which is fantastic. So like I said, I've just been given the login credentials for my second funded account, which I'm pretty happy about. So I'm going to probably start trading that today or next week. So once I achieve some profit in that account, they will then refund my evaluation fee, which I think was €540 for this one, and I will then Every time I want to withdraw money, I'm above 100K, I will invoice FTMO, they will pay out my profits, and then my balance will drop back down to 100K. Okay, so I hope that was interesting for you to show you the steps, the accounts that I traded to get my 2 funded accounts for FTMO. If you are interested in funded trader programs, subscribe to my channel. I have videos on all of the big funded trader programs, and I'm going to be doing much more videos, getting funded accounts in some of these programs to show you guys how things work, how the back end looks within these programs, some of the tools that they provide, and trying to evaluate some of the positives and the negatives for trading with each of these programs. So in the meantime, like I said, leave a comment below if you'd like to ask a question or you'd like me to run through something in more detail on these funded accounts programs. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.